Okay, this year the GenCon is happening after the interplanetary tournament, where a lot of stuff has been already seen, but maybe some of you have not yet seen all the concept artwork and renders that were shown 2 weeks ago in the interplanetary. So I'm going to show you tons of stuff right there. Maybe some of that is new for you, maybe it's not. Maybe it's not new for you, but for you, you know, enjoy it. You can, of course, take photos of all of it and post it on the forums, on the Facebook groups, on that WGC Wargamers Consortium Infinity Facebook group, which is awesome. Yeah! And we're going to show here stuff of the current 2 games that Corvus Belli has, because you already know Infinity, and now Aristeia is coming, it's also happening. So some of you might have tickets for this seminar and some of you might have not. I suggest the ones who have tickets, keep it, okay? Because at the end of the seminar they will magically transform into goodies, into presents, okay? Into courtesies from Corvus Belli to you guys. To you all Pano players out there. Corvus Belli to you guys. Yeah.
We are.
And to you Ariadna players out there. Yeah. Okay, and to you Nomad scumbags out there. Okay. And maybe to you Toha players. Yeah, Toha, yeah. Any Aleph player in the room? Okay, any real loyal server of the Imperial Jade Empire, Juchin players, come on! There you go! There you go! Yeah! Okay. And of course, an evil Combined Army player, some Morat players probably around there. Okay. Yeah? Someone missing? Oh, Hagislam. Hagislam players, straight Araburak, totally. Okay, let's begin with this. Welcome to this From A to Infinity seminar. Wow. Great title, yes, we know it. In fact, we put that title to the seminar before Aristeia wasn't even announced, before even the slightly teaser. So we couldn't say Aristeia is happening because it was hot news back then. So we used that From A to Infinity. But of course, super hardcore fans of Corvus Belli said, Aristeia is happening, you know. It's impossible to hide the stuff from them. Okay, we have come a long way until today, okay? It was even difficult for me to find the digital asset to extract this JPG image. This is the 280, which means infinity, 101, which means nothing, 0001. This is the first product of Infinity ever, the Ariadna starter pack, okay? Why I'm showing you this? To show you that we have come a long way, okay? Because nowadays Infinity looks like this, okay? Much better. Okay. 50th anniversary of GenCon and more than 12 years already. Infinity began in 2005. Lots of years, Corvus Belli there, studying, supporting, improving, reading, listening to the fans. The N1, the N2, the N3 happened, and there's something that I would like to point here. The way Corvus Belli has behaved during all these years, because at some point we have a discussion inside Corvus Belli that what does make us special in this super saturated market, in this bubble of games and companies and projects happening. What makes Corvus Belli special? Well, at some point, after really thinking about it, we came to the conclusion that we really support our game. I mean, we are not selling a box and running away. We are keeping constantly improvement of our products. So that's something that you can see there. The miniatures got better, the rules got better, the tournaments got better, the ITS got better. Everything that we could improve, we improve it. So we are like in a constant curve of making things better. We support our games. Why is it so important to mention that? Because a new game is coming, okay? Last year, I tricked all of you. I was lying. Last year, I sold many yellow notes like this, showing ideas that Corvus Belli had in mind. And many of those ideas are still there, and we really want to make them. But Aristeia was already happening. Aristeia was already in development. If you look carefully at those little sketches, they seem chibi, right? They seem chibi. Because the whole idea of making it a chibi game was still alive, okay? The Miyamoto Musashi chibi version that you have today here at GenCon exclusive, is a total Corvus Belli extravaganza, okay? We were able to do it because Miyamoto Musashi was a miniature last year, and we knew that he was going to become an Aristeia fighter. So we were able to experiment with the 3D file of Miyamoto Musashi in order to make a test chibi miniature. We like the result a lot, really. We like the result a lot. And in fact, having characters like 8-Ball was also pointing pretty much in that direction. It looks more like a chibi concept than a realist concept idea for a character. And after many decisions and after many hours of discussing and many filters, because Corvus Belli has very demanding filters of how ideas get green light, we reached finally Aristeia. Aristeia is happening this year, 2017. French Revolution, Build of the Pyramids, Aristeia, right there. Right there. This is how the final game, the contents on the box are going to look like, okay? In quality hard cardboard, okay? And quality cards, and plastic miniatures, okay? This might be new for some of you, okay? We are receiving the first test of the miniatures today, and we are studying every detail, okay? This is the cover of the game, Aristeia, with the 8 characters that you will have in the core set. This cover was, the art line was made by Kenny Ruiz, the artist who made the manga, Outrage, get it now. And the color was made by the Chinese artist Ho Shen-Hui, the same guy who made the Ice Storm cover or the Red Veil cover, okay? We like very much the mixture between these two artists because we like very much how Ho Shen-Hui colors, and we like a lot how Kenny Ruiz captured the essence of all the characters, Gata especially, for example, because Kenny Ruiz is a comic book artist. He has a lot of expression in the faces, he has a lot of movement in the poses, so we like him very much, his style, and at some point we decided him to be the Aristeia artist, trying to have all the artwork made by Kenny Ruiz. Let's go with the characters of Aristeia one by one. Pano players, here's your god, totally. This is Maximus. Maximus. You will recognize some tag pieces all over his armor, like the chest from the Tikbalang and the Jotun shield, okay? This is a brick wall, and he is heavily sponsored by Mototronica, the military contractor of Pano, okay? I can show you here a few sketches that you might enjoy. These are rejected versions of Maximus, okay? We had like 8, something like that, you know, different versions. The first one was more in the lines of an early idea of the character of making it be a Pano knight, a veteran from the from the Paradiso front, who for some reason became a sports guy, you know. This was the very first sketches of Maximus, and also playing with the idea of, you know, Infinity designs, but full of sponsors, full of, you know, more like an athlete, more like a NASCAR driver, full of sponsors, you know, that kind of stuff. The second one is more massive and has something there. Because it's Maximus, you know. Sorry, suddenly the seminar has gone. We like the helmet very much of this and some elements. Some night things already there. And the last one is already a rejected version, but you can see there that it has already the Tikbalan chest over there. This is the final design for Maximus, okay? With the Mototronica, the shield has gotten huge, okay? And exposed face, because it's important, because this is a character-driven game, and we want the characters to have a face, to express something, you know. It doesn't work with all the characters, but yes, with Maximus, okay? Let me show you here. This is a piece of art made by Kibu, another Chinese artist. Back then, Kenny was not yet involved in the project, so we were trying another artist, and we are very satisfied with this Maximus. Looks awesome, right? Yeah. Well, this is not getting to the final box, so I'm showing it to you as another Corvus Belli extravaganza. Yeah. We have a ton of money, throw it there. Yeah. You like it? No, doesn't matter. This is the final display of images for the Aristeia figures with 3 views and the Kenny Reed art over there. And well, when composing this image, we were pretty much going for some kind of video game look. You know, you can see there the roll tank with the names of the attacks, the symbols of the game. We enjoy very much doing this image. If you look at the upper right corner, you will see a core set. In that corner, you will always see the name of the expansion, okay? Because this is the basic box. There you can read core set there, but when the expansions come, you will read there, look at an icon that will identify which expansion does that miniature belongs to. And this is finally Maximus, of course, in a Pano environment, full of blue. Okay, moving on. Wild Bill. Any US Ariadna players here?
Yeah!
Yeah, he comes from US Ariadna. The guy happens to appear one day riding a horse and saying that he's Wild Bill. And they say, whoa, show business here, I can see the money. These are rejected designs of Wild Bill. We have a ton of Wild Bills, you know. At some point I was aiming at something like, let's try to have, I really wanted Jeff Bridges in True Grit, you get it? Something like that. I was pretty much, I always had in mind Jeff Bridges in True Grit because, come on, it's Jeff Bridges. The second one looks pretty much more like the guy from Westworld, okay, the bad guy from Westworld a lot. And at some point we were also trying more futuristic looks, because at the beginning you make a cowboy and then you put some future thing over him. More versions here. And the whole thing with the cards. Also, I remember the Magnificent 7 remake came out while I was designing this, so looking at the way they hold the pistols and stuff, also got some influence from that. And if you already have a demo of Aristeia, you will notice that Wild Bill has a special metagame with the cards. So we put some poker player thing on the design. This is the final look of Wild Bill, more accurate to the historical photos of the real Wild Bill, okay? And we just gave him a cold navy revolver because it looks awesome, you know. Rejected artwork, money, doesn't matter. We're artists. This is the display of Wild Bill. It's a one-piece miniature, and this guy is deadly in medium range, and deadly if you attack him, and deadly if you allow him to do something, really. And of course, I couldn't wait until taking him a photo in the usual Hacky Slam environment, because it looks of course, like a Western desert. Moving on, Parvati. Parvati is an android made by Aleph, because at the beginning the Aristeia competition was fight between robots, all of them. Aleph didn't want humans to be heard in a show stream media thing. But at some point, some crazy human jumped into the arena and showed those robots what she can do. So that changed the competition forever. Okay, Parvati was one of the original robots, one of the real artificial intelligence aspects of Aleph, who fights in the arena, and is the last one remaining. And because Aleph doesn't want anybody to get hurt, she is a healer now. So heals other Aristos in the arena. This is the concept design made by Carlos Torres, one of the first concept designs made for Aristeia, and because they were getting out of the Infinity comfort zone and they wanted Parvati to really look like an artificial person, they went full crazy with the gravitational limbs thing, which is something that you don't see usually in Infinity, right? Akimu machine guns, whoever plays Call of Duty knows about this. Rejected artwork, wow. It looks ugly. Not at all, this looks lovely. But at some point we wanted all the artwork to be made by the same artist, which is something very difficult to achieve. So Parvati made by Kibu, Chinese artist, we love this guy. Parvati in the 3D display, as you saw, is a support. This was painted, of course, by Ángel Giraldez, the man, the legend. And I decided to take a photo of Parvati in Svarheima because, you know, I travel to those planets to take photos, you know. Moving on, Miyamoto Musashi. We never have enough Musashis, you know. We have already made 5 of these. You have the classic Miyamoto Musashi figure, the remake of Musashi with the 2 set figures of last year, the Aristeia Musashi, and the Chibi Musashi. 5. So Joan of Arc is jealous now. Ushia is super jealous now, like what? Nothing new here, this is the same concept artwork of the Infinity Musashi. We decided to go with the red scheme and we decided to go with the without hat. But that makes you have now a lovely proxy for Musashi. If you are, you know, you go to an Aristeia tournament and everybody has the same Musashi from the box, you can pull out your Infinity one and the one with the hat. And everybody was like, wow, that's a special edition. Oh, don't you know about Infinity? Silly board game guy. This is not rejected artwork because this was made for Infinity. This was made by Francisco Rico, Spanish artist. A very gifted artist, especially with the faces. The display of Miyamoto Musashi, if you take a look at the chibi miniature, you will realize that it's the same pose of the chibi miniature, but with a much bigger head. I took, of course, Miyamoto Musashi to Yuqing, especially to the Kuraimori Island, the Japanese section of the Yuqing Shentang, as you already know, of course. Hexer. Hexer, of course, is Nomad. She is from Tunguska. She's a mysterious, evil witch. They call her witch because she doesn't get involved in combat. She prefers to use her magical hacker spells to displace and to freeze fighters in the arena. We have a ton of rejected designs for Hexer. The first one, the one in the middle, was a sketch made by Alberto Aval, Brando Castro. And from that, there was an evolution from there to the right, and a very alternative version to the left. But we have tons of these, really, because Hexer was a character that we thought it was going to be easy, and at the end we make like a dozen sketches. Carlos Torres at some point decided to come into the project and made many different Hexers. Okay. At the end, this was the winner. Okay. This piece of art was made by Hosen Hui, the guy who made the Ice Storm cover and the Red Bay cover. Rejected artwork, doesn't matter. This is the 3 views display of Hexer, okay? We consider her a controller. She has doesn't have attacks, have actions that she can freeze you, immobilize you in the arena, or push you away, or displace her allies into the scoring zone. Super useful character. And there she is pushing a box. Gata, one of the favorite characters. In fact, she's in the middle of the composition of the cover. She's not from Bakunin, as many of you might think, because you see a cat girl and you always think it's Bakunin. That's so racist from you. She's from Acontecimento, and she speaks Brazilian and Portuguese, and she's young and fashionable. At some point, they were looking at Ariana Grande photos on the internet, like maybe something like this, you know. And it was an easy design. Carlos Torres pulled out this design easily. Cat girl, teenager, fast, agile, doesn't involve many elements like, for example, Maximus, who has a power armor full of detail. Rejected artwork for Kibu. We love you, Kibu, but doesn't look so much like that. They didn't like the face of Gata here, but that shows, again, the excess of love for the character that they had. You know, we have final artwork, I don't like the face, you know. That was a key character for deciding to make Kenny Ruiz, the manga artist, to be the guy who executes the final artwork. Because Kenny really gets a manga face, very expressive and very friendly, smiley. Also, I always talk about this character when talking about the level of violence that we wanted the game to have. If you have such a lovely character like Gata, pink cat lady, smiling, sexy, you cannot have super extreme violence, bloody, and with machine guns in your face, you know, that will be so disgusting, you know. So that sets the tone of the game also. It's a little more Saturday morning thing, you know. And that comes because this is a future combat sport. Think about the future combat sports of the 70s and the 80s. There were bloody, disgusting, you know, there were extreme movies with that kind of stuff, you know, and we didn't want the project to go that way, but at some point the project was just text and paper, and your imagination do the rest. And you think about Rollerball or Blood of Heroes or The Running Man, those kind of sports of the future, and they were extremely violent, you know. And it's like, I don't see that happening. I don't want to see this lovely character in the middle of such a bloodbath, you know. Oh, there you go, Gata, smiling. Scorer, her role in the battlefield is to avoid any kind of contact and really reach the scoring zone. So it's a perfect character for having a lot of tanks or killing machines and then throw Gata away from the conflict and reaching the scoring zone. There she is in some kind of high-tech environment of Infinity, obviously. Major Luna! Is Tom Shadell here? Tom Shadell, when I was making, this is a silly thing. When I was making the video for showing the characters on the internet at some point, showing, you know, finally meeting the characters, we'll make a trailer with that. And I was making a trailer and I suddenly asked Tom Shadell, who usually makes the voiceover now for Infinity videos, Tom, can you, record some, why don't you record the names of the characters of Aristeia, give me that trailer voice of yours, like, Gata, Maximus, give me something like that. And he immediately gave me an audio file with him reading the names, like, and he was from low to high, so like, Gata, 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 and become more and more. And at some point, he made the Mortal Kombat song with the names of the characters, And we were rolling on the floor, Chun chun, Mushashi, chun chun chun, Major Luna, chun chun. It was hilarious. It's a classic now. It's a classic. Oh, we will share it soon. Yeah. This is the Infinity figure of Major Luna in the lovely Warsenal Kum garage. This is the concept design of Major Luna with the sniper rifle that in Infinity players that is a BAHRAM sniper rifle, okay? Rejected artwork by Hosen Hui. Enjoy it, guys. This is not going to be published, so take photos of it, you know, it's special. The 3 views display of Major Luna, I like this miniature more than the Infinity one, and this is going to be plastic, but I think this is a lovely model, and it's just a one-piece model. I think they really nail the character there. The face is lovely. And there she is. And finally, 8 fighters, and the 8 is 8-ball. The craziest concept of all. One of the ideas that really pushed the project to the chibi thing, you know, because it was easier to think about this character in the chibi version than in a Infinity World version, because he's a furry guy, you know, that kind of stuff. This guy really is nomad and really is from Bakunin. And thinking about it, it took more effort and time than expected to pull it out, okay? We began with an early sketch of Alberto Aval, who made this sketch, okay? Who wanted the character to be like this, and we had to work with that. At some point, yeah. At some point we had to transform into something that could fit the style of Infinity, and the sculptor, Antonio Moreira, finally was able to pull out the thing by looking at Honda from Street Fighter. He found some Honda photos and images of figures and stuff, and that gave him the idea of how to adapt the muscular mass of 8-ball to something that could work. This is Rejected Artwork by Kibu. And this is the figure, which for many people is the favorite figure of the 8 figures of Aristeia, okay? It's huge, it's very big figure. Terrible, terrifying character in the Infinity, in the Aristeia Hexadome, because he can push people out of the zone, he can bring people into the zone, he dominates position and has pretty good defense and life points, so it's very difficult to get rid of him. And there you go, the 8 Aristeia characters. Those, we will begin the game with this. This is the core set. Will cost probably, the release date is around November 20th. The cost will be around $60, okay? Plastic miniatures, board game. If you haven't already have a demo, go to the Infinity booth, have a demo. You will love how it goes, okay, how it plays. Doesn't matter what I say here. Experience the game, because you will love it, really. We are super proud of this project. Tease, of course, tease. We are already working in expansions, okay, for Aristeia. One expansion is already designed, still have to be executed, but we're happy with it. The second expansion is on paper. We have like 2 designs already, no color for them still, you know, it's in a pretty early stage. I show you this because I want you to realize that Corvus Belli supports its games. As we did with Infinity, improving and working and making it better, the same is going to happen with Aristeia. We will expand it and we will make it better, and we will have tournament scene and prize support, and we will care about the game a lot. We love Aristeia, we're so in love with this. So we'll work our asses off to make it happen and to make it successful, really. Until we found it's public, the same that happened with Infinity, really. So there's a lot of future for Aristeia, and I want you to see that. Anyone is interested in one of those silhouettes? Any of those silhouettes looks more interesting to you than the rest? Thank you, that's mine. There you go. Thank God. I'm sweating already. Okay, yeah, this is going to be interesting, really. Okay, I want you to know a few things about Corvus Belli packaging and products that will come in the future. Really interesting stuff. Look at that. Operation Ice Storm Battle Pack, okay. You already know about this. This is the most successful product of Infinity ever. This is the gate for entering Infinity, Ice Storm and Red Veil. And this year, you have seen it, we have made a Beyond Ice Storm pack, okay? Expect this to happen more, okay? This is a kind of thing that we want to happen more. Another battle pack, and if we make it, then we will also make the Beyond thing, okay? To expanding and upgrading it to 300 points. Okay, these are super successful products that brings people into the game, and we will keep on doing them, okay, because everybody loves them. Okay, success, repeat it. On the right, you will have the 300 point pack. Okay, we made the Onyx 300 point pack, and we made the Toja 300 point pack, and we made the Steel Phalanx 300 point pack, and more will happen. But what we have decided is to not keep on making 300 points pack and keep on having them in the catalog, okay? What we have decided is to always have 2 300 points pack, but when a new one comes, it replaces one of the previous ones, because those boxes are repacks of current products, okay? And they are sectorial, okay? They are not generic, they are sectorial armies. So what we don't want to end up having 39 300 point packs. That does not go with the necessity, the need of the company to bring down the number of SKUs. So consider this, the 300 points pack, always as an opportunity to get an army and with a really decent price, okay? For example, the Toja 300 point pack is the best ratio of price and amount of miniatures of Corvus Belli ever. I think those are 16 or 18 miniatures, okay? It's a wonderful price. So, if a 300 points pack comes to the market and you like it, get it, because it is not going to last forever. That's what I wanted you to know. Okay, there will be always 2 of them, okay? So, you know that the Steel Phalanx is happening. Steel Phalanx is going to replace the Onyx one. So if you see an Onyx 300 point pack in the store and you like it, get it, or really think about it, because it's not going to last forever. That's the thing. And down below, the US Ariadna Army Pack. That was a very special product. Why? Because US Ariadna was not released in Infinity back then, in 2015. And the book was not coming yet. Human Sphere appeared at the beginning of 2016. So we released US Ariadna in an army pack, and the booklet and the army updated, and suddenly US Ariadna became tournament legal. Okay, that was a way of delivering to the public, a new army. Okay, so that happened once, and that might happen again. Okay, people is waiting for new sectoral armies to come. The book is still in the horizon, but we have decided, okay, Army Pack was a good way to deliver US Ariadna to people. So we will make that happen again. Certain sectoral armies will arrive before the book and will arrive in the form of an Army Pack. So who is into, for example, the Varuna Intervention Division from Pano? So who is into the Tunguska Jurisdictional Command? So who is into the Invincible Army of Yuqing? That might happen. Let's talk a little bit about Strike Zone Wotan, okay? Because it was incredibly successful in terms of making players play the game, which is something that Corvus Belli will be always interested to. I'm also talking about the Strike Zone Wotan because I want everybody to remember that Corvus Belli supports its games, okay? It's totally free, totally for everyone, and at some point brought more than 4,500 players into the campaign. And there were more than 5,500 battles played, okay? So that activates all players, that activates communities, that allows communities that doesn't have the resources to make a tournament to play and keep on playing in different days Infinity. That's something that we always wanted. We invested more resources than in the previous campaign, so we can have lovely artwork made and spaceship designs and stuff, so everybody can enjoy such an online event. And things happen, okay? And things were happening because of the players make it happen. And Corvus Belli was writing down everything that happened, okay? So, as you can see, especially in Europe and the USA, the game was played, communities were activated, and everybody was enjoying the online campaign. And things, as I was telling you, happened. The nomads were defending the spaceships. Yu Qing was defeated totally and humiliated in the campaign. Pano behaved like Pano, and at some point they somehow said that they saved humanity or something like that. Toha and Aleph, which were totally not in the picture in the previous campaign because of the structure of this campaign, they were really pretty much into the picture and making big achievements. Hakislam was really intelligent in the way they behaved during the campaign because they really avoid the big dogs and score a lot of points. And at some point, we collected a lot of information of everything that happened in the campaign. Also, the Corvus Belli site had a lot of filters of how to identify spam reports or battle reports that were not fully trustful, or wonderful, excellent battle reports that were upgraded. So we have a lot of data to collect and a lot of data and forum threads and battle reports to read and to collect ideas from. Because the whole narrative experience that we wanted the campaign to be, and at some point become, gave us a lot of ideas for the future. Okay, I have here some medals for the faction after studying all the data and collecting information about how everything went. So, which was the most powerful faction? The faction that had the highest score? Let's check it out.
Can't be perfect all the time.
Yeah.
Don't be jealous. It sounds like propaganda.
Sounds like propaganda and might be propaganda if the faction with the highest amount of players were Pano, but it wasn't Pano. The faction that had more players at the end was Nomads. So, Pano did something great this time.
It's not propaganda if it's true.
Which was the most efficient faction, the highest amount of points per battle, okay? Toha. That's it. It was you. Least amount of players, least amount of battles is easier then to have a higher percentage, okay? Least possibilities of mistakes. On the other side, Toha players usually are veteran players, so that also benefits the faction in order to have a rich percentage, okay? Next, moving on. Most dominant faction, the highest amount of campaign points, that is the faction that when they decide to go to that location, they took over the location, okay? It doesn't matter if they dominate the location or they just occupied it briefly, both count. Ariadna.
Do you even have spaceships?
They parachuted in.
They just call a taxi. The most honorable faction, and honor means the least amount of fake or spam battle reports. The faction that behave more fairly, the faction of the fair play. Ale.
They control the internet.
Yeah. Numbers is a thing, totally. And finally, the most commended faction, the faction that had the highest amount of commended, upgraded battle reports, because there were excellent battle reports, it was Pano again. So, no medals for you, Hakislam, sorry. No medals for you, Yuqing. Yeah. What I really want to show you here and what I really want to tell you here is that from all these things that happen in Wotan, Corvus Belli was writing down a lot of ideas. We are going to develop a narrative from Wotan, a narrative that won't just be a note in a book that says, oh, apparently Wotan happened, you know. We are going to really make that have huge impact in the fluff and have really meaningful impact also in the range of miniatures. So the stuff that you have been through when playing Wotan will have meaning in Infinity Fluff, and that will not just be a text. Next year...
Can Oceania keep the Raxor Assault Frigate? Can we keep it?
That's a good question. Might probably something happen with that. Probably that leads us to develop a narrative that finally ends up having Pano having alien weapons. Who knows, you know? But that happened. And if we want to push further the timeline of Infinity and to push further the story, events like this allows us to not really come out with something, but really have the roots for developing stuff. And everybody gets more involved in how Infinity goes and behaves and all the rivalries of the factions, instead of having just names that people will know the battles that have been playing and the battles and the offense that Yuqing has taken in Wotan, for example. That kind of stuff. And the moment has come. The moment has come. The moment has come. Because you are looking for this so badly. You want it so badly, really. Yes. Okay. So get ready. We will begin with the faction that has earned the most medals in the campaign, okay? Pano, okay? Okay, new concept artwork of the Crusader Brethren, okay? This color scheme of the Crusader Brethren is the Hospitalier Knight color scheme, okay? Why? Because we're going to focus on them for a while, okay? So, expect releases for military orders and expect all of them to be with the color scheme of the Hospitalier Order, okay? Look at the renders here. I'm going to go slowly so you can take pictures of this, because this is saucy, right? As I was telling you, Hospitalier Knights are a thing now, okay? Because Corvus Belli is making a box of 4 of them, okay? We want them to be resculpted to the N3 standards, and we'll probably cover all the weapon options and stuff, so you can enjoy them a lot. This is the LOCUST clandestine action team. This has nothing to do with the military orders, okay? These guys from Neoterra, Capitalan Army, the posh army. They have the money, okay? And I can show you the 3D render, but it's not important, the 3D render, when you can have and show the actual painted miniature. And because we have photos of the painted miniature, you can expect this miniature to reach the stores in September, okay? Expect the end of 2017 and the beginning of 2018 to deliver military orders, Hospitalier Knights, and Joan of Arc, and Gabriel the Fersen in a new N3 wave. So that basically assembles the Death Star of the military orders, okay? And because you are already aware of this, and because this will reach to you month by month, it will be so easy to pick it up one by one, and finally having a lovely fire team there, okay? She's stepping over an Umbra, and it doesn't look quite dead yet because it's like finish this. You can see right there the hand of the Umbra like, oh, please, end this. It's painful. Shut up, I'm posing. It's glorified, Joan. She probably carries a Fusilier with a fan next to her, you know. Turn it on now. Are we done? No, continue. You know, it's war. Eugene. This is the KANREN Counter-Insurgency Group concept design with the mat traps, and expect a new miniature for this to come out. And she will be female, and she will be crouching, and it will be a blister pack that will come with the mat traps, okay? Because that's the useful one, right? And she will be hacker, so she will be advanced deployment specialist. Useful. And the Shikami that finally Corvus Belli has decided to provide him with 2 different headsets, okay? So you will have it with the hat, which looks cool, and without the hat, which looks fine. I see that in the Spanish forum there's a discussion, how are you going to assemble him, with or without? What do you guys think here, with or without? Okay, I didn't understand any of your English speaking words. So let's solve it by raising your hands. Who will have it with the hat? Who will have it without the hat? Who will buy 2 for having without? Oh yeah, I like that. Give me American money. Because this guy has farting duo, right? Yeah? Yeah. Sometimes I don't remember all the 2 profiles. Especially this guy who has everything, you know? Yeah. 2 different headsets. It's a silly pointing thing. 2 different headsets over there. That doesn't look nice, really. Okay, because this is painted and assembled, expect it to reach your stores in September, okay? Ariadna. Lovely concept artwork of the red-headed Caledonian volunteer. We love you, Caledonian volunteer, even if you're just wearing trousers. And this guy. This is the box for Caledonian volunteers. Expect them also to reach the stores in September, okay? You have there the guy with the 10 rifle, which is the guy, really. And I especially like the pose of the female with the light shotgun. Seems like a huntress. I like it very much. Also, I don't know if you are familiar with this TV series, the Highlander TV series, which what's the Outlander? Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Yes.
This is the actor who plays a character. But he's British in the TV series. He's a bad guy, but you know, has a peculiar face. I like very much the female figure, very much. This one. Look at this, the leg there. That's harmony and anatomy, guys. You won't find that in other ranges. Females, really? Are those possible, casting? This is the Intel Spec Ops concept artwork or the regular version, okay? This is not the GenCon exclusive that you can still purchase here at GenCon. This is the normal one that will be released later, okay? And this is the 3D render, and as you can see, because he's an Spec Ops, he will have 2 different sets of arms and head. You can have it with the boarding shotgun or with the Molotov, okay? By the way, thank you to the guy who provided me with the laser pointer. There's a gift for you here. Okay.
Did you say two heads, Carlos? This guy?
Yeah, because if you look at the head, it has a different assembling position. So that requires another head. Because if you look at the assemblies now, have gotten much better, much solid. Yeah. Heavy breathing. Oh, what's that? What is that? Is really? What's that? Looks like a teamboat. Looks really silly. I don't like it. Okay, really silly. Oh. Okay. That looks better. That is actually fine. Okay. Seems. Okay. Getting heavier. Doesn't look comfortable, but you know, it's protecting the stuff. Okay. Looking nice, a bit unnecessary maybe, but looking nice. Okay. And there you go! US Ariadna was looking beautiful. Almost every true profile had a miniature, but there was just one thing remaining to be delivered to the public beautifully. This is the Black Jazz 10th Heavy Rangers Battalion for US Ariadna Ranger Force. It had to be designed layer by layer, so the sculptor can also sculpt layer by layer because it's too damn big and complex. Okay, it's huge, and we really wanted to come to GenCon and to show it to you guys. GenCon was the deadline for this design, really. I really wanted to make a video with this, you know, yeah, like those tuning movies, you know. We were originally going to release it in a blister pack, but this piece here is so goddamn huge that it didn't fit inside a blister pack, so we're going to make it a box. And to give you an actual size reference, that is not a normal guy. That's an Azrael with HMG. That is not a normal guy. That's a young Ho with twin missile launchers. And this is the Blackjack. Let's get into Hack Islam now. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. New design for the Dailami infantry. Fear him, he's a Dailami. The design for the HASSASSIN IR. Design of the HASSASSIN Farsans. And design of the HASSASSIN Mujibs. Why do I am showing this to you? Because they all together become the new HASSASSIN BAHRAM starter pack for 2017. And what's even better than showing 3D renders is to actually show the painted stuff. Yeah, I like it. Really good miniature, yeah. I can tell you it was a pleasure to take photos to these models, really. These were painted by Tocino, which is one of Angel's little helpers. Look at the detail of the pasmina there. Lovely, lovely stuff. HASSASSIN Mujibs, again, why? Because after the starter pack, we will release a new box of HASSASSIN Mujibs. So, making some quick calculations, you can put together the HASSASSIN Mujibs with the starter pack, and if you get the Beyond Red Veil box with the new HASSASSIN Fidai and the HASSASSIN Rajik, and you get, for example, the HASSASSIN Gobat with HMG, which is pretty recent, you will end up having like 300 points, able to put the Dailamis in a secondary group, and that will be a pretty decent HASSASSIN BAHRAM list with N3 recent lovely miniatures. Nomads. Taskmasters from Bakunin. Someone pointed correctly in the forum that this is not a heavy rocket launcher, this is a missile launcher. So we quickly, oh my God, we made a mistake. Thank God we have the forum so the fans can point at our mistakes, you know. So that was immediately corrected. But thank you, community, for pointing out our silly mistakes. Okay, this is the future upcoming 300 points pack for Corregidor with McMurrock, which is an idea that we really wanted to do, to include McMurrock in this pack, with the Mobile Brigada, with the Bandits, with the Tomcats, and with the Alguacil Hacker, okay? Someone said, there's no lieutenant. Yes, the Mobile Brigada with boarding shotgun will get the lieutenant option, don't worry. As I said previously, when you see one of these boxes and you like what's inside, get it, because it's the best price that you can get, okay? And those are not forever. What is this? Because this is the new design for the Salamandra from the Nomads. The tag of the Tunguska Jurisdictional Command. The gun is so big that it doesn't fit in the screen. And let's take a look when this guy goes to the party. The Tunguska Disco Party will be available soon, guys. Spectre, Grenzer, Interventor, massive Salamandra. Party time. They're Russians, you know. Andromeda, Sophistes of the Steel Phalanx. You know that she has the Guardian level 2 skill, which makes her have a little companion. As you can see, she will have a 55mm base, so you know, pretty much the concept was having something like Voronin, which has an antipode next to him. And there you go. Toha. The Toha will get a new design and a new miniature for NEEMA SATAR, okay? Toha heroine character for the Toha army with the Spitfire. And if you like alien-ish stuff, get ready. This is the HVT for Combined Army. This is the new mark of the Ur hegemony. Okay, he's not an Ur. It's not an Ur. It's a representative of the Ur. Okay, and the miniature is lovely. And also the assembling of this miniature is something. Now Corvus Belli is dividing the pieces of the miniatures in bigger pieces. Okay. The process of making the plastic figures for Aristeia has made us learn a lot about assembling, okay? So you will be surprised by how you will assemble this guy. But if you have looked at the outrage miniatures, for example, you will notice how the technique of assembling has changed to the better, really. Umbral gates, 3D render. But who wants 3D renders when we have the actual painted stuff? There you go. Finally, the Nexus operatives. Yes, for you Onyx players that cannot make a decent list without him. There you go. Yeah. Okay, seems that it's enough for a combined army, right? It's enough, pretty decent stuff. I mean, it's okay, it's okay. It's okay, let's finish this here. We finish this here, okay? Yeah? Do we? Do we? What's this? What's this? What is that? Really? What is that? This is a combined army thing similar to the Grabot. The Grabot is something that comes out of the panel tags to accomplish objectives. And this is something similar. And it's like this. It's cute, it's fine. But the question here is, what does this thing come from? You know, the new mark of the Ur hegemony has to represent something, you know, has to announce when this thing enters in the room, you know. And we have a new design of the avatar. And we have a new figure for the avatar. Congratulations, Toha players. You have a new Gorgos there. That was cruel, I know. I'm sorry. That was excessive. Poor Toha players, they didn't get anything. Mercenaries. Joe Turner, the mercenary tag pilot, now he's getting his regular release because he was, until now, a winner pack miniature, okay? That's Joe's Cafe. If someone is lucky enough to have both the ITS and the regular, I think that also mixing the arms makes it come something unique and very special with the shotgun in one arm and the blade on the other arm. Looks lovely, and also with the cigarette and the head of an alien on the other arm. You know, you can play with that. You can play with that. Looks lovely. Okay. Cube Jackers, Mercenary Recoverers. This is the new figure for winner packs. Okay, for the new season of ITS. Okay, and the Warcores have received recently stuff like that. Okay, privilege for the Warcores. The actual miniature looks like this. for the winner packs of the actual season of ITS. Who doesn't love the Drews? The bad guys of the Infinity Manga Outrage, we love them for sure. But hey, I can see something here. There's something curious about this guy. HNG, Masculine Rifle. What's going on here? Viral Pistol, what's going on here? Well, they will have an upgrade in their true profile, okay? Why? Because we're making new Drews of And yes, after months of political discussion, we have more women in the Drews shock teams, okay? Yeah, it was a tough one, but we make it. That's the plan for the next 3 months of releases. I hide a few bits for the Spanish guys because I was hiding stuff. So September, Locust, you have seen it. Umbra Legates with the Spitfire, Shikami, Caledonian Volunteers. I wasn't able to have painted photos of them yet, but you know that they look lovely. The HASSASSIN BAHRAM Tutorial Starter Pack, awesome starter pack, great for photos. Repack of the Nagas and repack of the Hellcats, okay? In October, the Blackjack is happening. Andromeda is also happening in October. The Taskmaster of the Bakunin Swastin with the 2 weapons, with the Red Fury and the Heavy Rocket Launcher. The new mark of the Euro Hegemony. The Crusader Brethren for military orders. Gaurael repack, Tiger Soldier repack, and the 300-point Corregidor Jurisdictional Command repack. November, Avatar, Intel Spec Ops regular version, Joe Scarface Turner regular version, Joan of Arc, finally, HASSASSIN Mujibs, Haktao repack, Moran Masai repack. Moran Masai will have 4 Crazy Koalas, okay? 2 Moran Masais, 4 Crazy Koalas. And December also, Salamandra Squadron, Nexus, KANREN, Lursok Teams, NEEMA SATAR, HASSASSIN La 6, and Kazakh Spenas repack. We have never ever been so advanced in Corvus Belli with Infinity, or even more, because Aristeia is also very, very advanced. This has never happened. Okay, thanks to 3D sculpting and thanks to very productive artists, we have 2017 already done. This means that tomorrow we can begin working in 2018, okay? This means that we can now focus in a lot of stuff. We have plenty of advanced work. After many years working in Corvus Belli, I can tell you that we were making October in October. You know, we were making September in September. The photos were made the same day that the miniature arrived to be published in the same day. Always working like that. But thanks to the experience and thanks to being year after year working in this, we now see ourselves working with such an advanced schedule and such an advanced sculpt agenda, okay? So this is quite optimistic for us because allows us to be ready for everything, okay? To challenge ourselves with more ambitious projects, okay? So this is our plan for 2018, okay? We have huge ideas, and we still have to execute all of them, which is the tricky part, not just having an idea, to actually make the stuff. Okay, look at this. 2018, January, this is the logo for the Aristeia Global Tournament Season, okay? So Aristeia will have organized play, okay? Tournaments of Aristeia. The Aristeia core set will be released November, okay? People will play it in December, and in January they can enjoy official tournaments. And in February, Soldiers of Fortune, the first expansion, will arrive. So from having just 8 Aristos, which is fine for enjoying the box, we will upgrade the whole thing with 4 more Aristos, 12 Aristos in total. That will make the tournament season more interesting. Okay, then April, May, another expansion of Aristeia will come, Smoke and Mirrors. and suddenly we will have already, 16 Aristos, 16 fighters with their cards, with their meta game, with their combos. Okay, that's more interesting. Later, at GenCon, okay, we will synchronize more stuff and we will have another expansion for Aristeia. And suddenly we will reach 20 fighters. 20 different fighters with the synergies and stuff. And by the end of the year, we will reach, having 24 fighters. Okay, so Aristeia will be heavily supported by Corvus Belli, so we can enjoy tournament gaming and a lot of new things and lovely miniatures and designs and making things more interesting. I'm showing you this because I want you to realize that Corvus Belli is fully going to support Aristeia to make it better, to make it more spectacular, with lovely miniatures and rules and stuff, okay? On the upper half of this image, you can see these blue ends here. Okay. I'm not going to tell you what those are. Some of them are decided, some of those are not yet decided. But remember what I told you about army packs, unlocking new sectoral armies? That is what they mean, okay? That is what they mean. So expect 2018 to deliver very, very satisfying new stuff. The N is because it's new, okay? Okay, so apart from having the ITS tournament season and stuff, probably I will go to the Beast of War Studios to film contents for a theme week, okay, one of those Infinity theme weeks where we launch something new. And probably we will try, our intention is to also launch another new narrative campaign like Wotan, okay, like Strikes on Wotan or like Operation Flame Strike, okay? But this time our intention, mark my words here, is to synchronize the narrative of the new campaign which has a plot related to the Wotan campaign with the product, the superstar product that will arrive at Adepticon. And this product of Adepticon is going to be something that you cannot guess and you cannot imagine, okay? But it's going to be huge and it's going to be controversial, because we have decided to develop a narrative through the year, okay, a narrative thing, and push the timeline of Infinity further, okay, not just talking about the past or talking about the present of Infinity, and make the incidents of the Wotan and the campaign and the narrative of ITS also have an impact on the Infinity timeline. Remember when we killed Kodali? Remember that, judging players? Remember when we killed Kodali? Anyone with tears in her face already? Okay. Well, that was nothing compared with what we're going to do here. Okay. It's going to be huge. Okay. I was putting my trailer voice there. Okay. So when probably we will make some kind of super video and super happening media thing going on here to communicate the plot twist, the stuff that we're coming with, okay? You will love it and you will hate it at the same time. Then, between Adepticon and GenCon, another one of these blue ends, this means something lovely coming, okay? Something that might unlock a new sectoral army, who knows, okay? It's still yet to be decided and executed, which is not so easy. And then, GenCon 2018, I expect to see every one of you here. It's mandatory, because we will synchronize our minions and our work and everything to have a spectacular thing here. I can tell you that this one is a safest bet, okay? It's not like, let's break the internet like this one, okay? It's a much more, everybody will like this, okay? And synchronize it with another Aristeia expansion, so we will have a lovely booth with Aristeia, Infinity, and everybody getting crazy, and everybody making a huge line, okay? A line that will, probably Fantasy Flight and Paizo will have to make space for the Infinity line, probably something like that. I don't know. Sorry, Wizards of the what? Sorry, I'm not familiar. Please make space for Infinity.
What about the lobby?
Yeah. Right after GenCon, in a few weeks, the Interplanetario, the Spanish tournament will happen, and that will mark the end of the season, of the tournament season for Infinity, and then a new winner pack model will come out, and stuff will happen. We will try to reveal something there, you know. And also, by the end of the year, another of these blue ends, which means something extraordinary happening, okay? I think that you are going to enjoy this one and this one. This one is you know, this one is going to be awesome. It's going to be so fun to read the forums on Facebook, and probably, I think this one is going to hit CNN, you know, like, apparently Corvus Belli has decided to blah, 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 you know, in the news, you know. Huh?
Are you presenting it at Adepticon?
Yep. You will be able to buy it at Adepticon, if we're able to make it. So, that was it. Thank you so much for coming. I'm enjoying it. Time. Oh, okay. That means
12:30.
what?
12:30.
Ah, well, really fine. Really fine. Okay. Q&A time. Okay, you.
Will the next book have anything for sectorals that have already been released? So will we see anything for regular or backend, for example, for no like the next book, or just the new sectorals?
Apart from slots of weapon options or skills for already known units, I can expect that to happen, but not new units. Okay, well, maybe an update for the dire foes, which already exists, but maybe they get upgraded weapon options or skills, stuff like that. Harris for that guy, something like that. But expect the next book to deliver new sectoral armies, and don't even expect the next book for enjoying new sectoral armies, because those blue ends over there might mean an army pack comes, unlocks lots of troop profiles, and unlocks in the army and becomes ITS official as soon as it happens. That's something that we have planned for that, okay? Aaron.
Can you tell us what the future Infinity campaign systems will look like? And what kind of changes did you make from the existing campaign Paradiso?
You mean the campaigns in paper? Well, not quite different. I mean, the chart for command upgrades and the chart for spec op upgrades will change, okay, with different prices for staff, more adjusted to the difficulty of Infinity nowadays. The plotline, the missions, pretty similar. It's pretty similar, but updated to the N3 standards, okay? Because the creativity is not going there. Technique on the writing of the N3 standard nowadays is going there, but creativity is more going into the new troop profiles and the new armies, okay? Yep.
Can we expect you guys to continue the trend of putting multiple options in the box for the same model?
Yeah, it seems like a trend now. Many of those blisters have that. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, that might be a happening. I won't promise to every blister to have more options. In fact, when a blister comes with 2 weapon options, that increases the price of the blister, and some people is not so okay with that. Blue hair guy over there, yeah?
Are we going to see the Alive team miniatures, and where are they going to go to which faction?
There's a plot twist related to that, so I cannot reveal it, okay? But at some point, the Alive thing has to become a miniature, or a group of miniatures. But I'm not spoiling the twist, okay?
Are we going to see more models moving back and forth between Aristeia and Infinity, like with Musashi and Luna?
Well, Senor Massacre, you know, Senor Massacre is in the first Aristeia expansion, Soldiers of Fortune. Expect him to be there, okay? With a new lovely model, okay? Apart from that, the expansions are being designed these days. Some people in the company are pushing the idea of, hey, allow at least one figure from every expansion to have an infinity true profile playable. But we don't want Aristeia to be infinity dependent. Okay, it's not an spin-off. We want it to be a game on its own. Becoming so infinity-ish at some point might not allow the game to fly by itself, because if just infinity players play Aristeia, it's not what we're aiming for. We would like new people who doesn't know anything about infinity to enjoy Aristeia, and suddenly one day discover, this comes from here. Oh, maybe get interested into that. Sorry, this guy. What? No.
You guys going to be releasing more of the chibi version for Aristeia?
The question is if we are going to release more chibi versions. I can tell you a secret. We have a chibi Joan of Arc made from long ago, from even before Aristeia. So maybe if the sales of the Miyamoto Musashi chibi version were spectacular and stuff, pues it will be easy to, okay, now let's make it with Joan, because the file already exists. Okay, Brian.
The forum wanted to ask if there's any info on Hollow Men or puppets.
Any info about Hollow Men, the Tunguska true profile? Or, the true profile has changed a lot, but it's a Tunguska true profile that has holo projector. I can tell you that. This is the most solid answer I can give to that, okay? Holo projector, because you shoot at them and the bullet goes through the holo projection, and that's a holo guy, okay? You.
So just with the reveal of the Avatar, even more similarities between the Avatar and the Salamandra and the other Nomad.
That's just color similarities, really.
Well, also the tail is also...
Well, tail, yeah.
Yeah, so it just appeared almost like, so our Nomads basically taking combine technology, or is there hints of possible?
No, that's an unfortunate reading of the poor color decisions made by Carlos Torres. The art director just wants everything to look evil because he likes evil, and he thinks that everything that looks evil looks cool. I'm talking about a guy who makes medieval sword fighting with an venom mask put on, you know. So at some point, if you allow him to put colors on stuff, everything eventually will become black and red. You know, that's why the Morads are black and red, that's why Onyx is black and red, that's why Tunguska is black and red, and if you allow him to color hack Islam, it will eventually become black and red. You know, the guy is some kind of Daltonism thing going on, okay? He's limited, and you have to avoid him having too much power in the color scheme thing, okay? Sorry, you.
So we've seen the Veteran Kazakh dossier for over a year now. When can we expect new models for them?
Yeah, veteran, you mean veteran Kazakh, right?
Yeah.
That was made long ago, but that happens with the Kazakhs especially, because the Scout, the Dog Warriors, the Spetsnaz, those were made in a moment in between US Ariadna and the previous stuff. So there are a lot of Kazakh troop profiles with already N3 miniatures, okay, with the standard of N3, and that will make very easy for Corvus Belli to pull out the TAC, the Tartari Army Corps, which is happening in 2018 eventually, next year. Okay? And you don't seem amazed enough with the bomb I just robbed.
So like explode and start screaming right now.
Yeah.
Run out and use the bathroom.
Yeah. So yours was a Russian reaction, like, fun. I'm okay with it. I'm so excited.
Is there going to be Aristeia shirts or patches?
We didn't even handle to have infinity shirts and patches here. We will try. We should push that subject, which always seems tricky to Corvus Belli.
Like the big red with an A?
You will like that one?
Yeah.
Okay. You like that one? So people seem to like the red shirts with the big A of Aristeia. Okay, just a mental note in the video, just for me to remember. Okay. Sorry. 8 minutes left. Okay. Last 3 questions. Okay, and then party time.
Where did the Acontecimento regulars get their fast pandas?
at some point, 2020, something like that, I suggest you to buy an interventor box and another reconocimiento starter pack and put them together, something like that, because it's not in the plan for this year at least.
The Raxora was an extra assault carrier.
Yeah.
Are they ever coming back?
What?
Are the extra ever going to come back into the game?
The extra, this guy is funny. You're funny. No, they're not coming back. You will see the Sasbasti making a comeback before the extra, if they ever make a comeback. Nestor.
So, one question.
Hello, Internet.
One question, something Greg Strom asked. Are the Celestial Guard ever going to get an SWC box?
They need it. By the way, the current one is lovely, but they need the upgrade into that. And Eugene has so many stuff in the line for 2018. It will be difficult to put it there, but let's try, because they need it, yes. And by the way, Imperial Service suffered a massive rescall this last year, so yeah, this is the last thing they're waiting for, yeah. Last question, you were there.
Yeah, is there a plan to release the Aristeia models as metal?
No, we really thought about that, but it will show some kind of insecurities of Corvus Belli with their plastics if we do such move. We have metal copies because at some point we were testing the figures and casting and making experiments. So we have just silly copies of metal in Corvus Belli, but we just make 8 of those. But we are not going to make. You already have the regular Infinity line with metal Musashi and metal Luna if you want a metal proxy for your miniatures, okay? And that's it. We have to finish here because all of you who have tickets should make some magic spell on them and they will become miniatures, okay?